10 rounds, WBA International Light Heavyweight title on the line here in London. John Latham brings them to centre ring. His first kind of level step up against Jake Ball. And a beautiful pull counter right hand. He turns through such range. He looks like he's out of range, but seems to be able to land it from anywhere. Matyja, one of the very few fighters that are standing eye to eye with him, both somewhere in between 6'3" and 6'4".
Yeah, only been beaten twice. Matyja, never been stopped. I've watched him, he's strong, he's aggressive, likes to come forward, and I think that will suit Craig Richards. We will not have to go looking for him, looking for that right hand over the top.
Yeah, there is the pull counter. One of his favourite shots, good balance with it too, and power as well that's transferred so much better at 175 than it was at 168 in the early days of his career. Truthfully, we don't know how good Matyja is.
To be honest, Chris, we don't know really how good Craig Richards is. We know to this point, you know, but there was more, and I think that's what he takes away from the Bivol fight. It's like he didn't let his hands go. He got into a rhythm behind the jab, and it's just that he's such a laid-back individual that comes like sometimes reflects in his boxing. He doesn't let his hands go, doesn't bite down on the gum shield. So, you know, if he does change the way he fights and lets his hands go a bit more, we could see a totally different Craig Richards.
I spoke to him after the Bivol fight immediately after. He said there were moments that I knew I'd stung him, but his reputation stopped me from doing the things that I knew I should. And that's exactly what it felt like watching him inside. Same story with Callum Johnson and Matyja Butterfield. Against proper world champions, you don't get many windows of opportunity, and in those fights you have to know when to roll the dice. And as well as he boxed, he didn't put his foot down. Crucial moments in that fight would be the biggest takeaway from it. Plenty of positives too. He's up on his toes here. Just scoops a right hand round the style. Matyja just pressing forward again. Stealing the space from Richards.
Oh, there's a good right hand from Richards there. Found the target there. Took it well, Matyja. It's just that, look, you don't need to be taking any risks in the opening round, but as he starts to find the range with that right hand and starts to land, it's about following it up, going again, then again, being spiteful. Talk to Peter Sims, he'll tell you how hard he can hit. Any of the sparring partners that Craig's been in with, they really say he punches. There's some recent sparring with Crispin and Smith, Peter told me, and really holding his own.
Matyja trying to press him onto the ropes. Richards is finding the exit, turns through a counter right hand as the seconds tick down towards the end of round number one. Feeling out round as we'd expected between the pair of them. Just listening to the corners.
Za bardzo lewy, dajesz mu tym lewym się trafić. Jest jeszcze jedna prośba. Nie stoimy, nie czekamy, oprzyj się. Słuchaj.
Fill him out with a 1-2, listen. Jab to the head, jab to the body. Jab to the head, jab to the body. See where his hands go. Jab to the head, jab to the body. Hit him with the right hand over the top. Right? If he's holding himself straight and he comes in, jab to the body, step over and hit him round the side. Right? Just chill him there with the jab, just bust him up with your 1-2. Listen, really hurting this kid, he knows that. Let's get some body work now, one with the body, yeah? Hit it right out with the body, and left foot to the body, 1-2, left hook, alright?
Advice to change up the levels. Vary the type of right hand that he comes over the top with. Expect to see that. Craig Richards, good student, says Peter Sims, heeds instructions well. Fortunately, Darren, your post is as good as mine, so we don't know what was said in the other corner.
I don't know what you're talking about, I understood all of that. But no, Peter's right there, he does have good variation with the backhand. Craig Richards, so it's sometimes good to go long with it, go wide, around the back of the ear, really does stun your opponent. Really does get a nice rhythm behind the jab, Craig Richards. Sometimes that can be an issue as well. Feels comfortable, doesn't make life difficult for himself. And sometimes when you get into that rhythm, there's no real need to let your hands go. But obviously, this is the entertainment business. You want to excite people, you want to put bums on seats. So hopefully as the rounds go on, we see Craig Richards really biting down on his gum shield, letting the hands go once he's stunned his man.
It's Peter Sims that asked for a bit more investment in the body, but it's Matyja through the first minute of round 2. He's been the one to do it, which is just keeping him honest with that long jab. Matyja just dropping outside the line.
Yeah, moving his head well. Starting to avoid some of these jabs now, Matyja. Oh, good left hook from Matyja.
Richards just caught a little bit upright in that exchange. And the right hand just drifted forward and caught the left hook round the back of it. Now a stiff double jab through the middle, then the right hand. Better stuff from Craig Richards. Matyja is the one commanding centre-ring. Stiff right hand from the Polish fighter. Richards just in second gear at the moment. And just to find something will raise his tempo as the rounds go on. And Matyja just trying to manoeuvre him around the ring, make the space feel small. Another right hand to the body, works back upstairs. Richards comes back with the counters.
Yeah, it's a good short right uppercut from Craig Richards there. Matyja starting to up the pace slightly, starting to let his hands go, trying to close the gap. Needs to be careful that doesn't want to walk into one of those right hands from Craig Richards. He's looking for the shot. Just carries his chin a little higher, Craig, when he lets the jab go. It just seems to ride ever so slightly, and we just see Matyja able to find that right hand over the top. So just got the chin down slightly, Craig. This is a fighter that when he throws the jab, his actual hand position is low down by his chest, Craig, so it's important when he does throw the jab, the chin comes down because you can get caught over the top. And again, we see Matyja trying to close the gap. Good right hand to the body.
He's invested it well in this second round. Pushed Richards back and arguably had the better of the action through round number 2. Big night of heavyweight action on the way. There is the savage Alen Babic in, well, on paper, the toughest test of his career, but Eric Molina has been brought in on short notice. So that could mean absolutely anything, depending on where he was in camp when the phone rang. But you know what to expect from Alen Babic, and really, we kind of know what to expect from this man, Johnny Fisher, who just gets a terrific reception as this footage is played out on the big screens in the arena. Solid, heavy-handed, looking every inch a very, very good prospect under the guidance of Mark Tibbs. He has full belief that his man can do some damage in the heavyweight division. 22 years old, Johnny Fisher.
Absolute unit.
Craig Richards looking for that counter right, which chops it down over the jab. Matyja again holds centre ring, pushing Richards back, physically looking the stronger of the two.
He is just circling again to his left. That's good from Craig Richards. Just as I was about to say, walking onto the right hand of Matyja. This is just and moves to his right. That's good. Needs to vary that up. Just walks away, but managed to get stung with the right hand from Matyja. And out of range with the right. Craig Richards needs to bring his feet in, falling short.
Tony Avalon out around quicker than Anthony Yard, but need a little bit of hard work of the fight. Was comfortable standing and trading, pushed Avalon back as it is with Craig Richards here. Dropped him with a really solid overhand right in the 4th round. The Frenchman looked like he dislocated his arm at the end of the same round, survived another couple, which couldn't equip himself properly in the 6th. Another overhand right landed from Matyja, dropped him, and Avalon decided not to continue. It can be dangerous. Take the pace and drag you into his kind of fight. And Craig Richards looks relaxed enough on the back foot, but at the moment hasn't really wound the tempo up to a point that's put the Polish fighter under any considerable pressure.
Matyja would be happy with this. The fact he's able to sort of push Craig Richards back with ease. Not much coming back from Craig. Needs to up the work rate a bit more. This is about let his hands go. similar pattern to a lot of the Craig Richards fights we've seen, just not going through the gears. Still early, still plenty of time. Just needs to follow that double jab up with a backhand. You brought your feet in, now let the right hand go. Matyja looking unfazed at the minute.
Sometimes guilty, Matyja, with his work rate dropping in the middle rounds. I couldn't make out exactly what Peter Sims was saying. He's lent in to the era of Craig Richards, but so I think this guy's going to start to fade. So far, he's boxing well. Lands a right hand off a jab, pushes Richards back again, and he's winning rounds here.
You're not going to fade at this tempo, you know, and that's down to Craig. Craig needs to work more. He's got to raise the tempo, make Matyja work. It is still early, he still has time. Just want to see Craig go through the gears.
Just the lack of the urgency that was present at the start of the big old fight, because he knew what was in front of him. He knew the danger of getting lazy, switching off and being lured into that false rhythm of the Russian. Looks relaxed enough, but through 4 rounds, Matyja
Nie bij prawego na dół.
starting
Nie bij
well.
prawego na dół. Prawy na głowę wchodzą. Lewy, 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 prawy. Ale po tej akcji musi się ruszać, bo on nie odpowiada. Tak się prosty, panie, chciałeś? Raz, one.
Seeing Matyja on the front foot again, and he found the range with the right hand a couple of times in that round, and Craig Richards doesn't need to be staying on the ropes and taking these shots. Needs to be holding the centre of the ring, get behind those long levers and try and look for the right hand himself. But if you're Team Matyja, they'll be happy with the way this is going so far. I mean, look, some of the rounds have been close because of the action. You know, the tempo's not been higher.
Peter Orchevsky in his corner will be happy with what he's seen so far. He was a decent fighter back in his day, pushed James DeGale hard for his European title in 2011, 2012, something like that. I think he called it a day about 3 years ago himself. So a man of great experience in the corner. You can see little shades of his style actually in Matyja too. Richards looking for the counter left hook, wasn't able to land anything with clinical precision.
This is where he's got to let his hands go. When he's in this position in the ring, Craig Richards, he's got to let those long levers go. Follow that double jab up with the right hand.
Sometimes fighters are guilty of waiting too long for the perfect moment.
This is
Starts
better.
to force the issue here, Craig Richards.
This is a better tempo, Chris. 3 shots, step out for another 3 shots.
Matyja trying to feint his way into range, looks for the jab to the body. Right hand over the top, sold him. And a little 2-phase attack there, smart from the Polish fighter. Richards responds, shortens up the shots well.
That was a good 3-punch combination, 1-2 left hook. But just before that, took another right hand as he leaned out. Matyja finding that range, a good check left hook from Craig Richards. Changing the levels well there. Double jab to the body, right hand to the body, went back upstairs.
Richards tucking up in the shell roll, he turned his man well, landed to the body.
He hurt Matyja there with a left hook. This is better.
Trying to close the gap and get a little safer. Holds on, just underhooks the arm. Tries to land it. Left hook with a free hand. Just give himself a breather. Just over a minute to go here in the 4th.
Just a deep breath from Matyja there. I think he did get caught with a left hook from Craig Richards, who lands a nice 1-2.
Better around this from Richards, but Matyja comes in again. 3-punch combination, finishes on the jab, then just ties his man up.
That jab of Matyja is starting to slow down a little bit, so I expect that right hand from Craig Richards to start coming over the top of it. Lost a bit of snap out of the shot, Matyja.
10-second clapper as the round ticks away, and a big night for Chantelle Cameron ahead. Addy is backstage with her trainer, Jamie Moore.
There must have been hearts in mouth when Dillian White Otto Volume got cancelled, all the training that you put in with Chantelle Cameron, but now she gets an opportunity to headline and unify. It's a big opportunity for her.
Yeah, it certainly is. You're right. There was those few hours where we was like, oh, is the show going to go ahead? But thankfully it did. Everyone had already put the hard work in. And then, you know, as a blessing in disguise, she gets to top the bill for the first time herself. So this is the platform she's needed. And it gives her the opportunity to showcase her talents on a bigger stage and headlining the bill, and she's really excited for it.
She's really excited. We're all excited as well. It's number 1 versus number 2. McGee obviously has the IBF belt. What do you make of Mary McGee?
Good fighter, you know, she's IBF champion for a reason, but I've said this many times, I don't see anybody in the sort of top 4 or 5 in that division giving Chantelle problems, not because they're not good fighters, but just because I feel like Chantelle's skill set, her punch power, her output are just a level above everybody else. So it's going to be an exciting fight because stylistically she'll blend up nicely, but I can't see anything else but Chantelle win.
First, the transition of fighters as the trainer Jamie Moore with the retirements of Tommy Coyle, Martin Murray and Carl Frampton in the last 18 months or so. Time for the new crop to come through. The team suffered a bad loss last night. Tursunbay Kulakmet, excellent fighter who's in full control by all sounds of things through the 5th round in a fight at York Hall, but was knocked out badly, so some of the best of him, and Jamie brings a portion of the team to support Chantelle Cameron here in what is a defining night for her this evening. Backing the action here, 2.5 minutes left in round number 5. Richards working the body, Matyja as always pressing forwards, trying to make things happen.
Yeah, on the front foot again, Matyja. Craig Richards at the start of the round for a nice 3-punch combination to the body, just steps off to the side. He's getting pushed back a bit too easy for me. There's that right hand over the jab of Matyja, just missing. That's a shot that I think will come into play as these rounds go on. Again, just caught with that right hand, just leaning back with his lead hand low.
Again, Richards' right hand just out of position and leaning back a little tall, catching the left hook. Flush.
Anyone who knows Craig, he really is a laid-back character, and you can just see if you didn't know Craig and someone was asked what sort of personality does he have, you would say laid-back by this performance. It's just how he is. It's his nature, so very hard out, to get out of character and be spiteful. At times as well, he can cruise, he can get behind the jab. We're just seeing it here, sometimes just switches off, get caught with the right hand. But when he does put them together, he does look classy, looks spiteful, but he just doesn't do enough of it. There, he should go again, land a good 1-2.
He has more tools in the locker than Matyja. A lot more at his disposal. There's something to be said for solid fundamentals, a good chin, a decent engine, and solid strength as Matyja's showing here. Just the willingness to keep pressing forward, take shots and make somebody work at a pace they're uncomfortable at. But Richards, you think based on what we've seen, could make somebody like Matyja look fairly ordinary. He's not doing that at the moment.
No, he's not. And, talking about Matyja as well, he's not really letting his hands go enough. He is forcing the pace. He is pushing Craig Richards back, but not letting his hands go enough.
Start putting them together.
That's that. Yeah, sorry, Chris. He was throwing the long left hook to the body, and back come Matyja with his left hook, just carrying the right hand a little loose and low. Craig Richards out of position really to throw that shot. You need to bring your front foot with the shot.
Przeboksuje tak, teraz wygra walkę, ale my mamy ją wygrać. Nie daj mu tak łatwo boksować. On nie chce boksować. Patrz, on już ciężko dyszy, rozumiesz? Dalej idzie za nim pressing, ale balans. Nie daj mu czasu na
Give him a with the right hand. All right?
Let's go, guys.
Come on, put your hands together now, all right?
Tony Belly has got Matyja up by a round here. Something that Richards needs to start to up the tempo. Very much reflects the words of Peter Sims in the home corner. Can he do it though? Uppercut left hook, but Matyja kept the hand position responsible. Rode those on the gloves.
Yeah, when you look at the top fighters out there, not just in this division but across the weights, it's not only having the fundamentals, it's about going through the gears, having that heart, that courage to let your hands go in 3s and 4s. Go again, move your head, go again. You've got to be spiteful, you've got to be ruthless in this game, because you will come up against someone game, tough, rugged like Matyja, who isn't, you could say, phased with this. Though I feel he could be up in the tempo a bit more, still it's far too comfortable. Craig Richards is making it for him.
Making it perhaps closer than it needed to be. A similar problem with Chad Sugden, who nobody really knew much about. Was brought in as an 8-rounder, kind of busy opponent a couple of years ago. So happened to know about it because I commentated on a couple of his Muay Thai fights, to see the damage and the things that he was willing to go through, and how good his chin was. I think they felt that he was going to fade throughout the contest, but he didn't. He was so game, set such a high pace early that he won his share of the 8 rounds and ended up getting a draw on the cards. And I'll be honest, it wasn't a huge shock to me watching it. I think Craig Richards lands a lovely uppercut there, knows that he needs to do more in fights like this. And did he hurt Matyja with that uppercut? The body language of the Polish fighter says that he did, and he's a little bit static as Richards puts his hands together. Left hook, right hand, and Matyja is all over the place now with a minute to go in round number 6. Just the breakthrough that Spider Richards needed. Long right hand around the side of the guard, touches him upstairs, adjusting the range, and needs to not smother his work here as Matyja, pinned onto the ropes, just gives his opponent a breather that he so needed.
This is what we want to see from Craig Richards. This is spiteful. This is the kind of performance that he wants Peter Sims from. Good left hook.
Off the back of the uppercut too, right hand round the side of the guard. Matyja in trouble, left hook lands. And Victor Locklin steps in there. Beg your pardon, John Lathan steps in there and calls it a day. And he was certainly hurt, but that seems an early stoppage.
Yeah, he doesn't look too impressed in the corner, Matyja, but that's what we want to see from Craig Richards. When he does it, he looks good, he looks spiteful. That's the kind of tempo we want to see him fight at. But you're right, yeah, the stoppage did seem quick. He was hurt, no doubt.
Of course, if he was just 1 or 2 punches away from maybe being dropped and finished, we'd have said that the referee jumped in too late. They can never really win. There wasn't a huge amount, and there isn't a huge amount of protest in the corner from Matyja. That was the uppercut that started it all off, landed a flurry of hooks off the back of it. All of a sudden, Matyja was trying to hang on to the waist, and so we knew he'd really felt those. And Richards, just for a moment, smothered and spoiled his work, just closed up the gap and looked like he may have let Matyja off.
Yeah, at this point there, you thought Matyja may have survived. It was a beautiful shot, wasn't it, Chris? Look at that, beautifully timed right uppercut. I mean, that is textbook. That was a lovely shot. And you see the legs wobble of Matyja. Craig Richards a couple of times did smother his work, but generally it was a good finish, a good left hook. We see here, yeah, I mean, it was a good left hook right at the end there, just as the referee jumped in, but that is an early stoppage for me, but a good, spiteful finish from Craig Richards. That's what we want to see from him.
Missed with the right hand there, but he connected with a big left hook and was Matyja maybe just a couple of punches away from putting him down. And there is the family of Craig Richards. Look what it means to them. Wasn't a textbook performance by any means from him, but when he was asked to step the tempo up by Peter Sims, start to go through the gears, he did just that. He found the shots he needed and he closed the show in good style.
Yeah, Peter Sims just saying to me there, he's not only the best light heavyweight in the country, he's the best, one of the best in the world.
Okay, well, plenty of heavyweight action coming up next. Big Johnny Fisher steps up yet again